Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Agis Nafrisilia Sasha with last NPM 065. I just observed this video of the grand final of NUDC 2024, and here are my findings. The debate motion was this House believes that Indonesia should significantly tax residential properties that are left unoccupied. The debate used the British parliamentary format with four themes. First is opening government from the Surabaya University, and then opening opposition from the Indonesia Christian University, and then closing government from the Atmajaya University, and then closing opposition from the Brawijaya University. I assess each team based on the three main criteria. First is matter, and then manner. The last is mated. In the term of manner, opening government argued that housing is basic need and the leaving properties empty while many people need homes in morally wrong. Their arguments were clear and principled, but they lack strong evidence and real world examples. And then opening opposition respond by saying that such attacks would discourage investor and could be seen as a violation of property rights. Their economic reasoning was practical and logical, and then closing government brought a strong extension um, by by connecting the issue to economic inequality and property speculation. Therefore, they framed the problem as systemic and showed how the tax could promote fairness. And then closing opposition focus more on the possible negative outcomes of the tax, such as increased um, rent prices or market disruption. Their analysis was interesting but quite technical and not always easy to follow. In terms of manner, opening government delivered their points calmly and clearly, but like emotional engagement. Opening opposition sounded confident with a good voice control, and then although they sometimes spoke too quickly, um, and then closing government had the best delivery using expressive tone and strong emphasize especially the second speaker, especially the second speaker. Yes. And then closing opposition spoke professionally and fluently, but their arguments were uh, wrapped in a complex language that might confuse a general audience. And then the third is and informated opening government opened the debate with the decent structure, but didn't effectively anticipate the counter arguments. Opening opposition had a well organized speed and responded to opening government clearly, but didn't engage much with closing government's arguments. And um, and closing government showed the best strategy, building opening government's case while adding meaningful new content. Closing government broke in their own analysis but didn't do enough to prove why they were stronger than closing government. Based on all this observation, here is my final ranking. First place is closing government because they introduced the most impactful and original arguments delivered with clarity and energy. And then the second place is opening opposition for their solid economic reasoning and effective rebuttals. And then the third is Closing opposition whose arguments were insightful but a bit hard to access. And then the fourth place is opening government, whose message was important but lacked strong support and strategy. For feedback, opening government had a clear message and structure but should use more evidence and anticipate economic rebuttals. And then opening opposition show strong logic and friendly but should slow down and engage more with closing government extensions. and uh, and then closing government impressed with a passionate delivery and original analysis but should more clearly separate their case from the opening government and engage directly with closing oppositions. And the last is closing opposition had a professional tone and deep insight, but should simplify their language and respond um, they respond more to closing government. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.